Hey, it's Carrie, and I would love to hear from you. Share your story with us on the platform. You're listening to Camouflaged Beauty, a podcast of shared experiences for military and veteran women. Can anybody hear me out there? Can anybody hear us out there? Hold on. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You check
3 mics, none of them are actually working. You can hear us? Yay! Not sure what we did, but a good restart helps. Thank you guys so much for, listen, hold on. They don't know me, but they're going to know us today. Oh, shoot. For all of you guys out there that has waited patiently, cheers. Listen, we're sweating. It is hot. Whew. Chief, where you at? Why can't we see you? Where'd you go? I promise y'all, we haven't been drinking. We don't know what's happening over here, but we're going through all kinds of technical difficulties. So we're just trying to be as just work with us and bear with us. But child, this story, whoever is out there, the powers to be that don't want us to tell the story, too bad, how sad. Here we are anyway on Juneteenth, so let's start over. My guest today is none other than Chief Master Sergeant TJ Hannibal. Whew. And she has a story to share. So Chief Hannibal, I know we already talked about this, but clearly the viewers can hear us. So this is flexibility at its best. Whoa, I didn't know I could work under this kind of pressure.
Camera's still on.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, you, where you going? But we're gonna talk about it anyway. So tell us about this journey for you and how your military career started.
No, I'm not repeating myself.
Yes, you have to. No, you have to. Come on. This is live. Repeat yourself for the people who are here have been waiting. They've been patient. Please let her know that y'all want her to repeat herself, that you're willing to wait and listen to her story. So come on, we're going to talk about this. So,
I'm sensitive.
What was it?
I need a minute.
Okay, let's give her a minute.
Nah. Hey, yeah, you sure they can hear us?
Yes.
So we ain't got to do a three-peat.
Yes, can you hear us? They said yes.
Nobody said yes.
They did say
I'm
yes.
not tracking a yes. Okay.
I think you sabotaged the video. I don't know what happened here. See, come on, Chief. There you go. Let's do this. Please repeat. They can hear us.
You see, this is supposed to be serious.
Chief, it was supposed to be serious. You're playing. Look, the people are ready for you.
Hey, y'all, what's going on? I'm just waiting for everybody to get their drink. It's happy hour. I know, okay. Only 4 people have a drink in their hand right now. Come on now, kick it up. I'll wait a second so you go on to the refrigerator. Shoot. Okay. What are we talking about?
We're talking about your decision to serve in the military, even before joining. What made you want to come in the military?
Wow. I had no plans of coming in the military initially. It went back and forth. Let me stop with that. My father is United States Army retired, and he was a huge and still is a huge inspiration in my life. Mm-hmm. So I always admired him, and he had to remind me, honestly, I swore to God I was going to West Point.
Okay.
Yeah, I pushed that way in the back of my head. I don't know. So admiring him, the shine and the crispness and the respect he had was a driver for me early on. By the time I got to high school, though, being the knucklehead that I was, military was kind of off to the side. I was in Air Force ROTC.
Nice.
Yeah, later on, first few years, little challenging. You know, I was that one that only wore the uniform during the class for ROTC. You know, you're supposed to wear it all day. The first year or two. Then I got it together. And still, that wasn't my primary. Was thinking about college and all the things, but I was a knucklehead. And so finally landed on, you know what, let me go ahead and
enjoy and be serious.
Let me join. And because I had done ROTC, I came in under what was a Proficiency Advanced PA program. So I only did 2 weeks of basic training and came in as an A1C.
2 weeks of basic training, y'all. 2 weeks. See, people are getting their drinks. And they're saying, hey, Mr. Rant and Kathleen and Alma and Monica, thank you guys so much for tuning in. So you're telling us about the PA program. You decided to stop being a knucklehead, and then you decided to come in the military. If you guys don't know Chief Hannibal, you can see her personality. She is a clown. She is definitely the class clown, so I'm sure she got in some trouble along the way. And then you decide to come in the military as young, fresh Airman Hannibal. And what was that like?
Wow. Ooh-wee, I feel sorry for my supervisors. Now, first of all, so my mother is very much, she did not spare the rod. So I was not one that was just out the mouth, disrespectful. But I had a pretty loud personality, I'll put it like that. So I know I challenged my supervisors on many levels because I had older white male supervisors initially, and like, what in the hell do we do with this 17-year-old black girl straight from Vietnam, North Carolina, who was just out there? And so I know that in and of itself was challenging. But I came in law enforcement. First base was Fairchild, and
Fairchild, okay.
You can pop lock it, working in gates, you can get it out. That was before you had to do 100% ID check. You just wave the sticker on.
So, yeah.
So we had competitions on waving traffic. That's how we got down.
Okay.
First time really away from home. Cold, negative what?
Yeah.
What is negative temperatures? They didn't even register with me. I had no idea what they were talking about. I learned real quick. We were SAC based, Strategic Air Command, for those that are not older than 12. And trying to figure it out and so that's where my life began, and some challenges there at the first base. You and I spoke about one of them. Sexual assault was early in my history and career. I don't know if you want me to even go down that.
Absolutely, your story, man.
My story, huh?
Your story.
You sure that's not what's
I brought the wine and you brought the story. So tell us about this sexual assault.
So Fairchild Air Force Base, 91. I got there end of 90, going into 91. Away from home, first time. All this stuff is foreign to me, and I run into someone who is from Fayetteville, went to high school with me. So this is like the best news ever, and started running with this guy and his friends. And so I got very comfortable. And one day he came to pick me up, as we usually would do. We just kind of hang around, dorm rats.
Yeah.
You have no real life. You're on meal card, and you just trying to make it happen. And if your paycheck ran out, you definitely was going to be in they call it the DFAC now. It was a chow hall back then. I don't mean to offend services, but it was a chow hall. Catch me outside. Anyway, he came to pick me up one Saturday. Nothing unusual, but he had a look in his eye. It was a little odd, and he came all the way in my room, and I went to get my key or something, and he forced himself on me. And initially, I fought back. But when I realized I was powerless, I couldn't fight him off. I kind of went somewhere mentally. I gave in. He had his way, and I fooled myself for almost 26 years following that. I lied to me. I never admitted that he assaulted me. I actually flipped the scenario in my head and really didn't talk to anybody else about it. So it wasn't I lied to the world so much outwardly, but I made it consensual, and it wasn't. It was far from that. His best friend, I guess he told his best friend about it, because his best friend even attempted to apologize on his behalf. And I waved him off like, what are you talking about? I had no idea what he was talking about. And so that happened in 91. Fast forward to me retiring the first time in 2016. And my awesome DAV rep, VSO specifically, Roy, He asked me, he was walking me through the things, for your VA claim, and he said, have you ever been sexually assaulted? And I said, yes, but I didn't know who said that. Yeah. So he said, here, take this form and take your time, fill it out, and when you're done, bring it back. So I went military, autopilot. Oh, okay, this is a hard copy. I'm not going to fill out a hard copy. I'm just pull it down off the electronic form. I'll fill it out, get it back to him. This is where my mind went. Now, mind you, I had not addressed this here or anywhere else since 1991. And so I came home, put it to the side, and I started to sink into a deep depression because there was this paper that if I really addressed it, I'm a fraud. Who am I? I've lied to the world. Who would I have been had I admitted this thing? And so I didn't want to address it. And I got deeper and deeper and deeper. So on top of all of that, the reasons I had to retire at that time in the first place, higher tenure as a senior master sergeant, tied to all the shit that I had gone through with it. Don't ask, don't tell. I just was in a funk. But I kept pressing. So finally, Roy was very, very patient with me. He just kind of politely asked. And so I decided one evening, let me knock this thing out. I sit down at the computer, pull up the electronic form, and I'm still struggling. And I get it all out. And I'm probably Googling, and I don't even remember all of it that night. And after I get it out, though, it's like 1,000 pounds was lifted off of me. And I felt much better, and I'm on top of the world. And I even called my mother to share it with her because I'd not told anyone. Hopefully my dad didn't know here because,
oh my God.
Remember, I have never told him this.
Hi,
story.
Dad.
Hey, Dad, log out. So, anyway, my mom for the first time shared with anyone, me, that she had been sexually assaulted as a young girl. And so it was kind of a healing for her. And I'm doing good, I'm flying high, and then now I have to turn this paper on. Damn it. So now I am about to be this fraud again. I'm embarrassed. My depression kicks back in because now I have to admit to someone else I've been a liar. I'm not who I said I was all these years. I'm not this strong person. I'm not this woman that if somebody did this thing to me or that thing, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And so I turned it in to Roy, and honestly, no real memory of turning it in. It was almost uneventful. But fast forward, I'm now retired. I'm a contractor working at Wounded Warrior and got my headset on because I'm on the phone with my Warriors. And I get a call on my personal phone, and the lady says she's calling on behalf of the VA. Okay, and she wants to talk to me about my sexual assault. And so I'm I think I'm just stunned. I say, ma'am, can I call you back? I don't even know what else to do because we're in cubicles and there are a lot of people around. And so I asked her, could I call her back? And she said, well, no, because the way we're set up, the phone's set up, I can't give you a direct line to call me back. So we need to talk about this now and all the things. And so had that been her talking to you when I was there, I'd have tore her ass up. But it was me. And I was stuck. And so I vaguely remember saying, hold on, and walked to my car to sit in the car to entertain this phone call where the lady began to walk me through a very robotic, unemotional conversation. She was a bitch, for the lack of better terms, about the whole thing, where she wanted to know had I had significant disciplinary actions in my career, and short of these allegations tied to don't ask, don't tell, no. Well, I find it hard to believe that you were sexually assaulted, but you were able to promote and to progress, and you didn't have any disciplinary issues and all the things. And I had heard that. Happening to people, but I don't know that I gave it attention. Honestly, I did not. And I remember stumbling through that call, and when I got off, I'm pissed. And I call my VSO and Roy, and I'm going off, Roy, you can have this, and I'm using the F words and all the things. I don't want this. I did not admit to this to get a higher VA percentage. Take it away. I'm done. And he was calm. And he asked, he had to calm me down to find out what happened. And after I explained it to him, he said, will you just give me a minute? Let me work on it. Just hang in there. And he did. And I never had to entertain or deal with that kind of conversation again about it. But yeah, I'm very thankful I'm on the other side of that now. I'm ready to talk about it whenever, however. Sometimes very fact-based, I can do it in this manner. Other times it hits a nerve. But if I can talk to anyone, my sisters or my brothers, so that they know you're not a fraud, you shouldn't be ashamed. This is not your fault. You don't have to hide this. You're still who you said you were. It's that motherfucker that did the things that they did to you that caused this. So yeah.
So glad there are no children watching.
There better not be. There better be watching cartoons or something. Y'all knew it was me. I already told you. So yes, therefore yes.
So, we're laughing and joking here, but that's a serious topic and a heavy topic. And to live with that secret for 20 years, 19 years?
26.
26 years. To live with that secret for so long. And let's rewind a bit to the actual story. Many people watching have heard the story. You've been somewhat of a motivational speaker for many people. But for me, you were an urban legend. So I heard the story many years ago. And I've told the story to many of my friends struggling with things. And how I tell the story is my girlfriend's sister's cousin told me that there was this one girl that knew this one chick that was a chief. But before she was a chief, she got put out the military, and then she got a presidential pardon and she came back.
My Facebook cousin said.
Right.
All right.
So it's become somewhat of an urban legend, but fortunately, it's been a source of inspiration for many people who have never met you, never known you, going through a struggle, to know that there is at least one person that someone's cousin, sister, Facebook cousin knows that actually went through this process. Mm-hmm. So walk us up leading to before you were asked to get out or don't ask them to?
As in, long before any problems.
Wherever you want to start.
Come on,
your
that's
impeccable
right.
career. You've done so many different careers. I mean, you've been in every career field we can really think of: paralegal, security forces, OTS, BMT. Which one am I missing?
You say EO?
EO.
Okay.
I mean, it's almost like these careers, in a sense, may have prepared you for this
battle. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's funny how life works that way. To have the EO experience and the legal experience, and I guess the security forces experience can't hurt any. And it prepared you for this battle. So take us back, 6 months or so before this whole thing happened. What was your life like at that time?
I'm living my best life over in Germany, doing all the things I can do. Mm-hmm. Single, senior master sergeant, and superintendent for the legal office. I've taken the LSAT and preparing to hopefully attend law school, coming back stateside. That's the surface. Underneath the surface, my father and my BFF, who was also my cousin, had been diagnosed with cancer that December prior to this. And so my father prognosis was recoverable, but my BFF prognosis was from December of 2009, she would have 3 months to live. And so I began, flying back periodically to the States to check in with both of them. My cousin survived long past the 3 months, they said. Our birthdays are 2 days apart. Yeah, we ride hard. We would ride hard together.
Best friends.
Yes, my mirror, I call her. I had that going on, personal side, and the great part for me was I had been to so many retirement ceremonies where the retiree was apologizing to their family for never being there. And at a certain point, I swore I did not want that to be me. And absolutely workaholic, people say I bleed blue. I would have been go, 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 and maybe checked in, but no, I made the space to get back several times. Now, in the interim, where at my duty assignment in Germany, I have my SJA who is PCSing out, my deputy SJA who is deployed. I have my senior captain trying to fill in. We have an inspection coming up. We had a lieutenant colonel guard who was supposed to kind of fill in, but that was crazy. So I'm trying to hold the things together there. I was blessed with awesome ARC support. Reservist was the bomb. And I was appointed a GWAT funds. Let's get it. My sister is on the line right now. I got to send a shout out to Steph Williams because she came to augment, and I had some other folks that came through.
Hi, Steph.
So, the times that I had to go, we had more than enough coverage. And I knew they were in good hands when I would have to go stateside and come back. At any rate, you fast forward to my cousin actually passed away. Again, according to doctors, she should have only survived up to March. And so as we approached August, our birthday month, we decided then we're going to have the bomb joint birth celebration, but she didn't make it to our actual birthday. So I flew back to the States for what I thought would be a return for her funeral, but she held on. And I got to the States and I sat at her deathbed, I'll call it, for 4 days, day and night. I left just to go shower and grab something from Waffle House. Shout out to Waffle House. Y'all held me down. And she transitioned after that 4th day. And I came back to Germany wanting to take leave again later during the time that we were going to do our joint birthday celebration, but to do it as a memorial for her. So I came back for about 10 days, I think, and flew back for this celebration that we did. And my sisters, Tasha and Vicky in Montgomery, Alabama, they had me in tears. The memorial and the celebration was awesome. So I come back, I land, and the young lady that I say is kind of like was like a savior to me. She showed up. You got those people you don't have to tell them what you need. She showed up with groceries for me, and that to me floored me. I just didn't know what to do. It was awesome. But a couple days later, I get told to show up in my service dress. I get a call from my supervisor, who was a new SJA, who had PCS then, And again, I extended an extra 3 months to hold the gap there. And man, I should have took my ass home today was walking. But at any rate, she arrived a little bit odd. She was, but I didn't attribute it to any more than the fact that it was her first time holding that position. But she called and said, "Hey, I need you in your service dress tomorrow morning in the commander's office," which for us being wing staff agency, we fell under the control of the commander at that time. Now, can I ask why? You'll find out when you get there.
Let me stop there.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've just lost one of the closest people to you in your family. You clearly haven't processed that because you came right back.
Mm-hmm.
You flew back to the States only for the memorial, just to come back and do what it is that you do the best, which is put on that face as if everything is okay. Mm-hmm. During this whole process, where was your leadership? Did anyone ask how you were doing? I know that was a different era in the military, different generation, different thought process. But did anyone check on you?
Leadership?
Yes.
Hold on, let me list the people.
Okay. We're gonna put a countdown timer.
Yeah. How many is that so far? Y'all counting out there? How many so far?
I can't with you.
Shit. Okay, that many. Right there.
So I'm laughing about it now, but it's really not funny because regardless, that's a traumatic experience for you as well, too. Okay, so you have to come into the office in your service dress. Yeah.
Now, mind you, building side by side, so Spain Quentin, fairly small. So, you walking down Main Street in your damn service dress from one building up to the other. Everybody and mama has seen it. Before you can even get to the next building.
Oh, my God.
Boy, they're probably on the hotline. And so I go over and I meet with the major at the time. And he reads a military protective order for me to stay away from this young lady and her family because of suspicion of a variety of things. And I'm in shock. I'm numb. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? My brother was trying to hold me down because he was the superintendent from the CMSgt squadron at the time. And Lynn Mitchell, I love him to death. Truly, no blood, but man, they're thicker, him and his wife and kids and my goddaughter. That's her granddad. He's too caught off guard, probably trying to figure the things out. So we're trying to navigate this stuff. And we go back to my office. And
the girl that brought you groceries.
Yes, her. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm totally confused because, mind you, at this time, though I was not dating women when I joined the Air Force, I had been dating women at this point. So I'm thinking, is this about something from back in the day? Y'all got some footage or something? Show me something. Like, what? So, of course, I'm stuck. I have no idea what. It can't just be this. This can't be it because this is not factual. So, what? And so I asked the SJA, what from here? Is this it? What's going on? She's like, well, I don't know, but I'm sure this is the end of it. So that was the beginning of a 9-year journey / battle.
9 years.
9 years.
Let's talk about that 9-year journey.
What you want to know?
I want to know everything about that 9-year journey. The gray hair,
yes,
the stress, everything about this process from that person telling you, that SJA telling you then that we don't know what's going to happen. So, from your eyes, what did it look like?
The immediate, I guess the first year or so, hell, torturous. It was unknown because I was supposed to be PCSing in a few short months from there, going to DM. And so you have a superintendent, myself, over the very office that processes people to get put out, who put people out for violating Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And here I am accused of that very thing. Didn't know the total or the sum of the allegations as of yet until it was called. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Let me put it that way. They knew what they wanted as an end result, but they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I know Steph was probably laughing because she was very intimately familiar with all this fuckery, as I called it. So it was a jerky motion. The command chief says, if you need anything, come see me, because she was TDY on leave when this first occurred, but she was a gay female. I wasn't going to call her out. And also, I'm not going to come see her because right now I don't know anything. And as far as I know, this is all I have. So why would I run to her with what?
Nothing.
Right. And I know many people, as soon as anything happened, the wind blow, they calling every damn person they know, the generals, the colonels, and somebody come help me. But what? Do what? And honestly, we had never discussed sexuality, but I knew hell Ray Charles could see. Didn't put her on blast, but I honestly believe she jumped on the side of things that they were doing, hoping to keep the light off her. That's my true feeling about it. Anyway, neither here nor there at this point. It's a jerky feel because they didn't know what the hell they was doing. They're trying to figure it out. Finally, as I'm told, I talked to Command Chief, and she told me, hey, a little bit later, I come out on Chief list a few weeks later. And so I'm like, okay, at this point, now, hey, Chief, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm accused of this. I'm on the list. Do I go to the orientation course? Do I do the things they're telling me to do? Because I get the email traffic as a new chief. Do your bio? Do this? Am I supposed to do this stuff or what? And she said, no, this stuff is nothing. It'll blow over. You need to do what you're supposed to do with your life as a chief moving forward. Bam. I roll out the wing building feeling like new money instead of the dumbass that I really was. They already knew what they were planning to do. They were just figuring out how to get there. So from that moment forward, that time under that particular boss, it was they initiated a CDI with the IMA to the 3rd Air Force Commander, which was I can't recall if she was Guard or Reserve, a colonel who didn't know what in the hell she was doing. She called me in to try to have a conversation with me where she was supposed to give me a rights advisement and ask me questions. And she was so just discombobulated. I had to help us like I had to help her with the damn rights advisement. And I could even see the questions that she was supposed to ask me. And it was tempting. Like, are you for real? Let me just answer this and kill this. But hold up, dummy. You have law enforcement background. You have time as addition duty first sergeant, and you're paralegal. If they are reading your rights, you better not get diarrhea in the mouth. Shut the hell up. Invoke your rights. Stand by. And so I did. During that same session, she said, okay, since you're not, well, can you think of anyone else I can talk to? Is what she asked me. The inquiry officer. No. She literally wrote her report to say I refused to let her speak to anyone else. Well, damn, I didn't know I had that power.
But she wanted you to provide people or references to speak against you.
I guess.
Is that a part of the process?
Not when I last checked.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I drink, so I don't know. Maybe I will. Mm-hmm. Not sure. So really, she didn't even interview the young lady in question. It was the husband. They attempted to interview me. Mind you, all of this really started because the husband doctored up some emails and printed them. They never got electronic soft copies, and they didn't go through any of that. It was a couple emails that he doctored up and printed. Again, when people are looking for a way to get you, they'll use whatever ammo or tools are available. And DAGT just happened to be the one. I don't think I went through this because of my sexuality. It was what was convenient to be able to get me.
Yeah. So this husband accuses his wife, I'm assuming, and you of something more, whatever these emails say. There's no evidence. They never spoke to the young lady. They really have nothing. They called you in without telling you what you're actually accused of. Mm-hmm. And then the world comes crashing down. How did you find out that this was for real this time?
So as I always say, because I know how people are always trying to fact check and shit. Like, wait a minute, let me be very clear. This young lady, I thought she was extremely attractive, and I desired to see if we could have a relationship at some point because she was going through a divorce. She shared that she was attracted to me. Is how it all began. But there was no this. I got accused that we were told we had this relationship going on for months and we were doing all these things. So I want to make that very clear. I was after the CDI again, mind you, it's herky jerky. It's in between. Now I'm still the superintendent of legal office this whole time. They won't even let me tell my attorneys or paralegals that your damn superintendent is accused of violating the policy where you're putting people out for.
So are you still allowed to work with everyone else being put out at the same time as the superintendent?
She didn't know how to do a job. I'm it. As far as anyone knows, there's nothing.
So they're putting you out, but they're still using you to do the work to put other people out.
So now, at this point, they hadn't got to that far as of yet, because the CDI, which, if you can even call it that, I call it fuckery on a napkin, because that's about as close as you can get. I get called in and get an LOR, and where the LOR says I engaged in an affair for several months with a woman who was married, impacting good order and discipline and all these things. And so I asked for the evidence to support it. And I was told, well, you'll get it once you turn your response in. Okay, after the response, right? Got it. Track it. So these are the kind of games I had to play with them all day, every day. And so my office is right across from the SJA, my boss. And as I'm going through this thing, you got to imagine, I have to keep my game face on. Because I'm going through hell inside, but I can't afford to give them any else because they're looking for something. They need something. They have nothing. So they're looking for something else to try to get, her attitude, or she did this, or she did that. So I'm in that bad one fight. I turned in my response, and as I'm handing it to her to this LOR, she says, well, it doesn't matter. I've already made my mind up anyway. That too should not be surprising to me. So every day was stuff like that. It goes from that, and we're back and forth. Am I in, out? What am I doing? I'm still the superintendent. Nobody in my office officially knows anything. Fast forward, I'm recommended for discharge.
Without any evidence.
They got something apparently, but they weren't ready to share it with me. So, of course, I'm still trying to imagine, okay, did you find out I went on a date when I was at Maxwell or something? What happened? And so, still pressing. And I'm asking, hey, this isn't fair. This is hypocrisy at its best. These people work with and for me, doing this thing, and I'm right here riding shotgun over a process that now I'm a part of. So she said, no, we this, and that. And then I promise you, I'm in the office with her. I won't even give it a name. With her. And then there was someone else, I don't remember who it was. And she said, well, we're going to have to tell the office at some point. We can't keep this from them any longer. And I was like, what? Okay. So I asked for 2 separate sessions, one with the enlisted alone, and then one with the officers and the civilians. And I asked that she be present. And my game plan was what I did. I went in and I said, very fact-based. I said, I think it's important that you know, I have been recommended for discharge under the don't ask, don't tell. And I told them a few more things. And I said, I'm going to leave now. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can talk to the SJA. And I left out. In both sessions, folks started crying. And they came out, they lined up at my door offering, what can they do? She was pissed. Pissed. She even told me, she was like, I was shocked that wow, because somebody actually might halfway like me. So, those things. But it went on and on and on for almost a year. Not knowing, because I was days away from shipping my car and having my household goods picked up. 2 days away when they told me I needed to be put on an administrative hold and recommended for discharge. So who put me on admin hold? Me.
Oh, no.
They couldn't even do that.
No,
Come on, man.
No,
Work with a sister.
No.
Yeah, I had to do that. They didn't know how to do that. So, yeah. Yes.
So you are no longer going to Davis-Monthan as a chief.
Right.
And you put yourself on admin hold, and you're
several times.
Several times, and this discharge process is going. And how do you, Tia says she misses you. Yeah, I agree. This is a hot mess. I don't know how you held it together. They said it exactly right. So you go through all this process.
Mm-hmm.
And I know your dad influenced you as far as his razor sharp uniform. So I'm pretty sure you came in there with this razor sharp uniform as always, because everyone that seems to have known you throughout your entire career can say that about you in every uniform you've worn. You have this out loud attitude.
Wait a minute, you said that like I'm old as hell.
No, ma'am.
A lot of uniforms.
No,
I did.
You did.
I did. All right, go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
You wore all these uniforms. You're like, I know that you still have to walk around with a certain sense of pride. Put your head held to a certain, heights, and keep that game face on every day. Mm-hmm. But what were you feeling inside while you're going through that process?
Very much a roller coaster. First and foremost, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because of the black female chief master sergeant from JAG Court that I had let down. That was the first one. You've probably seen on my desktop and other places. I have a picture of four or five of them. The fifth one was there, but she was walking around. Black female chief master sergeant from JAG Court, and that I saw that when I joined the JAG Corps and retrained in 2008, and I was floored because I was a staff sergeant before I ever saw a black female chief master sergeant, and I didn't know I hadn't seen one until then. I wasn't walking around like where they at. But when I saw the first one, who was Chief Master Sergeant Lee at Diomi in 1996, 4 foot nothing.
Oh yeah.
And the woman, when I tell you we was all on break, we had Army, Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard, South African military, civilians were there, and we rowdy as hell in the hallway on break. And then everyone started parting like the Red Sea. And this 4 foot nothing black female chief walks through, not with an air of arrogance. She didn't say make a hole, none of that. It was just her aura. People moved. Man, I almost fainted, probably. Like, what the shit? That right there. That's right there.
That's what I want to
Hannibal
be.
Sergeant. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, from that time as a staff sergeant, the first time I saw more than one black female chief together, I was a senior master sergeant. Wow. That picture you see, that was it. That was it. And I'm thinking, damn, really? So I had always been that rebel mentality, as they would call it. They called me militant even at my first base. And it wasn't being militant, it was pride. I'm tired of not seeing me, not necessarily the black female chief master sergeant, because I didn't have that in my head at that time, but the command wall, the history of every damn unit I walk into. Welcome to the whatever squadron or the group or the wing. Well, shit, I don't see anybody in here look like me. I see all these pictures. They go from black and white to color. Damn, even put a dude in there. Throw a light skin, something. They were all white males, and every now and then you see a white female. They didn't look anything like me. And that, as an airman all the way up, I didn't have the language for it. I didn't know what it was, but that shit was challenging. It was depressing. And so I didn't, go sit down. I was trying to figure out what I needed to do
to get on the wall.
Not even to get. I didn't want to be on the wall. I really didn't. I wanted the wall to change.
Yes.
I wanted you and them and her and him, who share the same shade as me, to show up at their new unit. And when the unit said "Welcome to," they didn't second guess it. That's what I wanted. Yeah. So no. But that inside, going through that time, having to keep the game face on, I'm dying. I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't understand this thing. I have everyone saying, even the number of the Air Force saying, "Oh, we've seen what it is. It's no thing. It'll go away." But yet everything is happening, but it going away. And so I'm thinking every time I talk to someone, whether it's IG, I literally sat down with the IG office, two awesome members. They were in tears, taking this story in. They even told me they could tell the emails were doctored when I finally did get a copy of the things that went with it. And so I just utter confusion. I did not understand this thing. There is no way. I even have my own brother, Coco Chanel, now I'm tributary here, who tried to tell me that wasn't possible. My president signed the repeal. Your president, your ass ain't served a day in the military, and he worked for more than 4 days. But your president, okay. So yes, it was a lot, and it was human touch, as I share a lot when I'm allowed the opportunity to share this story. I did not truly know the value of human touch until that time, because for an entire year, with the exception of the few times I was allowed to return to the States for leave, just a hug, a greeting of hello. Man, I didn't have it. Much of it was because I was afraid to let anyone near me, because anyone that seemingly was associated with me, the legal office, her specifically, the SJA, tried to pursue them for something, whatever it may be. So I kept people at bay. And my world closed almost all the way in, with the exception of my sister from another mister, white female, she's German, Nicole Pinnock, former MTI as well. She was in Germany at the time. And man, along with, I had a lot of angels, phone, email, and otherwise, but actually there, she probably helped me maintain my sanity, man. And so, yeah, other than that, though, just a simple greeting to say hello. And now I know everybody gets it now because of COVID, probably, but yeah, that shit was crazy. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. So you have one friend.
Damn, you ain't had to wrap that off. I got more than one friend.
And at the time in Germany, you only had Nicole.
Damn you.
One friend, but truthfully, you can't get too close to her either because you never know. You could bring her down too with you. Yeah. Because clearly at this point, it's a witch hunt. It's really what it is. They have determined what the end result was going to be before any evidence was ever found. And so, did you ever have opportunity to talk with the young man that accused you at any time? The world wants to know.
This is when you get to do your hands like that. When you say opportunity in an official setting, or did I run into him?
Yeah, did you ever run into him and say, we need to talk, brother, because you're ruining my life?
So first and foremost, I only saw him once since the whole thing in the last 1,000 years. Excuse me, and it was within that year, and I was still in Germany. And so he was, I think it was like the food court area or something. It wasn't even at our base, I don't think. I was up at Ramstein, I think. And I did not talk to him. I went and sat right by him in the booth, and he hauled ass. So, no, we've never talked. We've never spoken directly. We've had indirect conversations through a third party. But I grew, and God let me see. I'm not angry at him. They used him, too. They used him. He was doing some craziness because he was dirty as hell. I will tell you that. I do believe that. And he was going through, but they needed him to do what they wanted to do to me. So he's a victim as well. As crazy as that may sound.
No, I get it.
He's a victim.
Why do you feel like you were so much of a threat?
Well, clearly, I'm not shy. I believe in battling injustices. Hopefully, we're appropriate with tact. I believe in addressing things. But where there's space to call your ass out, I'm going to do it too. Because some things you need to quietly pull people to the side or kind of go with the flow, or this is not the time. But other times where people will say it's not the time or the place, that's when I need to kick the door in and be loud as shit. And so I'm for that. I do believe my presence because I am a child of God. I'm very much blessed. Now, not that we aren't all children of God, but not all people will acknowledge that. And trust me, for the people out there with your glasses raised, shut up. I'm a Christian under construction. Shut up, whatever you want to call it. But he's my father. And so he has gifted me with the power of attraction, the ability to speak pretty decent, and to interpret things. My father groomed me very early how to communicate with senior leaders, and I didn't even know it. And I frustrate people now because my father was very much about answer the question that you're asked. Don't try to assume what I'm trying to get at. Don't try to give me an alibi up front. Answer the question. And so me and my sister would be so frustrated with that. But I had no idea he was already grooming me for military communication. And so those type things I'm good at analyzing and all this stuff. Pride. I am proud to be all the things that I am. That doesn't mean there are things that I need to work on and modify, but I'm proud of all the things. And I think that is intimidating to people. At the very least, if there's a feeling someone is experiencing and they don't know what it is, how to put their finger on it, it means they need to attack. It's foreign. I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not sure. She's a threat. Now, I've been told if there's any validity to it or not, I promise I don't know. But at that point, my records were good. I was a strong candidate to potentially be considered for Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force later on. I have no idea if that was valid or not. But I also know, as you're checking 10 years out from that, they weren't prepared for a black female, and definitely not one that they thought may identify as being gay. So take that for what it's worth. It could be conspiracy theory. I don't know. But
we'll add the conspiracy theory to the urban legend. So, it all makes sense, though, if that was a thing, if that was any fact of that, that could cause people to be threatened and then puts, something in your way to get you out.
Yeah.
So you're processing getting out the military now. Yeah, she's a Christian under construction, y'all. don't entertain her anymore. But still, you're
and God would not approve of this.
I don't even know what it is, and I don't want to know. So you're getting out of the military.
Mm-hmm.
And you're what did you decide you're going to do with your life then? How did you even decide to come back and be a part of the Air Force in a different element with the Warrior program?
So I was fighting to stay in at 2016. They were offering, I guess, I'll say waiver for the lack of appropriate term for it. For a variety of reasons, you could kind of extend your time. So I was trying to stay to get the board results at that time. That wasn't approved, but as I was preparing to apply for it, I'm at AFPC working as an assignment functional for paralegals. And I knew the appropriate thing to do, of course, is before I route a package to ask for a signature from anybody, I need to go speak to at least the command chief. And so I was preparing to do that. And when I went to meet with Chief DJ Jones, who was the command chief of AFPC at the time, he was floored. He was like, I had no idea. And I said, nor should you. I should have been a senior master sergeant in your ranks, and then things worked out in my favor, preparing to promote me to chief. And as I say, there was so many angels God put into my path and in my life with this whole process, and even outside of that, he was checking up on me, my case, to try to help me, to see where I was at. And so he had someone who had access to the Board of Corrections database just to see status of, not to influence it, because he couldn't do that. But my submission was over 100 documents. This case that was in there had less than 10. Yeah. So had he not conveyed that to me, the board would have convened and looked at a package with less than 10 documents, and I'm pretty sure they would have ruled a certain way. And once the board rules, unless you have newer relevant information, you're done. And so, again, many angels at AFPC and otherwise helped me construct my package the way it was supposed to be, to get it in the system the way it was supposed to be, and that's what I meant. So still now, I didn't get approved to stay, so I had to retire in 2016, and I went to back to OTS to do my retirement ceremony there. From here, my family, the Mitchells, mounted up and rode out, boy, and did my ceremony there. And shout out to the Greyhound, Chief Master Sergeant retired Nate Turner. The Greyhound Nation. If you don't know, you better find out. Him and my mentor, Lieutenant Colonel retired Spencer, they retired me. And I had seen a 2-star white male general had a black male chief master sergeant retiring him. I didn't even know that was possible. So thought about that, did that. So as I'm preparing to retire and I'm reactionary mode and all these things, both parents, biological parents, health was in question. So my dad is in Atlanta, my mom is in Fayetteville, and I need to go there? I'm applying for JRTC jobs and all the things. But almost at the same time, it seemed like both of their health just kind of leveled out and they were good. So for me, it made sense to try to stay San Antonio by AFPC while I waited for my case to be decided. And so a good friend hit me to the possibility of going to work because I wasn't trying to go to the Warrior program. And interviewed for, shocked the shit out of him. And if Verna is on here, TM Trice, she's probably laughing now. Because I had straddled the fence so long. The don't ask, don't tell. I knew, Stevie Wonder, if he really looked, he could see my ass dated women probably. But I didn't do anything overtly at work and otherwise to try to push that. So I'm thinking, even applying for a job in retirement, what do I wear? Man, what do I do with this? What do I do? And then you know what? It hit me. I was tired. I said, for all of these years, I walked that line. They said they're not going to ask, and if I don't tell, neither happened. They still put my ass out. So after this one morning, it was kind of like, I'm done. Because before I was thinking, well, if I got to put a dress on to do this, I'll put the dress on. But I said, I'm done. I'm going in a damn suit and tie, and if these motherfuckers going to hire me, they're going to hire me like this or not. And They did. Now, I'm sure Verna had a lot to do with that. It was probably shocked the hell out of him. Female applicant name, and then I walk in there looking like Sam and Nicole used to call me a Wonder Warrior, Sir and Ma'am.
Sir and Ma'am.
That's what Sam stood for. But that's the point I was at. So I wasn't tracking Wonder Warrior before that. But Wonder Warrior is still a part of the AFPC. So I became a contractor named TJ, acting a damn fool in retirement. As much as people said I bleed blue so much I wouldn't be able to adjust, man, I had blonde hair, lines in my head. I was enjoying it. I was doing the thing, still desiring, still fighting, still holding out hope that I would win my case. But yeah,
so you, even with this retirement life, because you're enjoying retirement now, right? You can wear your suit, you can put lines in your hair, you can do whatever you want, but you were still hoping that the process would work out in your favor.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because the fight didn't stop because I changed clothes and job. The fight in me didn't stop. Ironically, my father, as a Army member, went through something similar, and he was actually, I think, vindicated late in his career. For literally E8 going to E9, he was accused of some things that he wasn't guilty of. And he has shared with me he regrets not staying in the fight longer, but I think he made the right choice. Because he chose our family over that. He was newly married to my mom, Felicia, and not my biological, of course. And I don't really like the term step parents because I use it so people understand, but she's my mother. She's never been anything but my mother. At any rate, in order to take that promotion, he would have had to go overseas to Korea, I think, alone. And he wasn't willing to do that at that time. And though he applauds me for fighting and says he wished he did, you did. You went for the right thing. You took care of the family. That's where you went. Because I've given up a lot in this battle. I've lost a lot fighting this. Would I do it again? Probably. Maybe with some modifications. But there was a lot of things that was given up in the process to try to get there. Hell, I don't forget what you asked me. That's what?
So it's 2016. We're almost going to be done. It's 2016. You're in this Wounded Warrior program. You're doing your thing. And how many years go by?
So, I have to tell you, this shit is crazy because before I could apply to the Board of Corrections, I had to do one or two things because I have a Congressional that turned into an IG complaint. So I either have to withdraw that and proceed with the board or wait for that process to finalize. So now, if I withdraw it, the board is going to say I haven't exhausted all measures. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting. And I get into this thing, a battle with me every day where I say, don't check your mailbox today. And I couldn't help it. Every day, Monday through Saturday, for years, I check my mailbox, waiting, hoping for something. Even when I want to, don't check it, gotta check it. And when it finally came, it didn't come by actual letter. It did, but later on, I got an email notification first that, let me back up. So, 2018, I'm at AFPC working on New Warrior, and my brother passes away, Coco Chanel, and it was rough. But a couple days later, I find out that I won my case. I'm sorry, I left a step. So I wanted to actually, the Board of Corrections, the IG came back with basically nothing after about 6 years. It wasn't substantiated. It wasn't unsubstantiated. It pretty much came back with nothing after years and years and years. Fine. You didn't say unsubstantiated, so whatever. And so I submit to the Board of Corrections. So 2018 is when the Board of Corrections. Now, I had about probably 12 items I requested relief for. And I'm thinking, if I can get, maybe 1 to 3 of these bad boys, I'm in there. Everything I asked for, they gave me. All 12. Everything. And so bittersweet, losing my brother, but I'm getting news of this. And so, okay. Technically, that translated into my retired rank becomes chief. My data rank backdate to, I made chief in 2010, so it would have backdated to 2011 and move on with life. Nah. Well, excuse me. I was not done. I'm ready to come back. Let me put my uniform back on. So
that's my question.
Why?
So they backdate your rank. You're getting back paid. You've won your case. You've gotten all 12 things that you asked for. You're living your best life in retirement. but you decided to come back?
It was never a question for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So though people thought, oh, you wanted to come back to show them. Oh, you want no. So first of all, God would not have allowed me to win that. If I was still in a vindictive, let me get them back, it would not have been mine. Though many years I said, God, just let it be resolved no matter what it is. I wasn't ready. I was not ready for the answer. I truly got to a point where I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt whether the answer was, nope, you will never return, you didn't win, or whether, yep, you won and you have the option. When I really got there, that's when God gave me a yes, sincerely. And so in getting that, I didn't want to come back to, I'm going to show you. I came back for many of the reasons I articulated earlier. If I got my ass kicked like that as an E8, E9, what in the hell is happening to my E1s, E2s, E3s, E4s? Yeah, you can mentor, and I did. I never stopped in civilian clothes, a contractor named TJ, the retired senior master sergeant. But come on now, y'all admit it. There's a huge difference in, oh, that's a retired so-and-so over there versus the one that walks in your duty center still in uniform doing the things that look like you.
Yeah. And so to Kashawn's point, she says because you were needed and she said you were needed and had unfinished business. Dopest old school chief I know. Definitely a mentor, even for those not wearing the uniform. And I totally agree.
Thank you, brother.
I cannot say, and yeah, to Vicky with the back pay for sure. That back pay I'd have been like, peace, I'm out. I'm not coming back. Agreed. What a selfless reason to come back. I don't know if I would have been able to do it. Or if I did, I probably would have came back for that. Told you so. Oh, I'm back. So now you're back, and the world is different, and you can live out. There's no more don't ask, don't tell. You're free to serve and whatever. No one cares about what your sexual preference is. It doesn't need to come up in conversation. It's not a thing. How was that even? Did you have any kind of hesitation? Putting the uniform back on. It has to be a weird feeling. Like, wait, now I can do this.
Somewhat, but I think because, again, remember, I was so close still at FPC there, my comings and goings. And I had a ball trying on different outfits, the ties and slacks and all. Just even seeing people's reactions sometimes, like, what in the hell is she going to wear today? So that was great. But it did take me a minute with the ease of conversation about same gender, the public displays of affection, not uniform. Just period, because I had lived so long under don't ask, don't tell. I would tense up when I was with someone. If I was someone I was dating in a relationship with, if they reached for me sometimes, I would tense up because you couldn't do that. That's you could not talk about your life. It was a whole dark space. That was Monday morning conversation. How was your weekend? What'd you do?
Can't tell you.
I'm not getting the shit. You talking about you and the wife, the girlfriend, the husband, whatever. We're not about to have that conversation. For me, you had to catch a boat, a plane, get in a car, and ride a bike somewhere to live freely at the time with someone just to be able to go have dinner or hold hands or walk in the street. So, yeah, it was a little challenging coming back. It felt weird.
I'm sure. Yeah. So now you're back in basic training with the youngest and brightest shiny airmen that we have coming in. How do you lead differently, you think, because of this experience?
Fearless. I think I was very bold before, but now I like, what the hell are you gonna do? Maybe retire? Shit, you did that already.
That's exactly why I couldn't come back. I would have got in trouble.
And I'm not disrespectful in it, but yeah. Though you hear Chief say it, I came at E10. I don't think we really know it. I don't think if I hadn't experienced this, I don't know that I would have really felt it as much as I was. I can't make damn E10. Now, what we don't need to lose sight of is usually our wingman or wingwoman, they are still promotable, as in your commander, because we usually pair it up. So you still need to be kind of cautious. You don't want to get them where they get slapped down for something you did. But that's it. This is it. Why not be bold? If I can take care of staff sergeant, tech sergeant, master sergeant, senior, captain, major, by kicking in the door, if I can be the one in the conference room saying bullshit, because you can't. Let's get it. If I can get a policy change, if I can change your viewpoint, if I can open some doors for you, if I can pave the way, if I can take the arrows so you can walk uninhibited, I'm for it. Bring it.
Yeah. That's selfless within itself. You know, you're right. I think a lot of times you hear chiefs say, I can't make you 10, but they don't really live that way. There's a certain sense of fear, but I think we're kind of brought up like that throughout the ranks. Yeah. And most people don't have your experience. I don't think anyone else has your experience that I've ever heard of. So most people don't have your experience to retire and see like, it's going to be okay, and then come back into active duty. So I can understand the bit of fear there is. But let's see what our viewers are saying. They're all so proud of you. One of the things I did notice on social media when I did this, decided to do this interview with you, everybody that I have seen on social media had so many positive things to say about you. They never said you were nice. They never said...
Wait a minute. What the...
They never said, oh, she's such a nice chief. You know, that's definitely not what they said. But what you do is you leave a lasting impact on people's lives. I've heard stories of you meeting people when they're at their lowest. I've heard stories of you being able to recognize when something is wrong with somebody without them even telling you. I've seen people commenting of just how many different times they know that you are there for them and able to go from mentor to leader to friend in that same conversation, just switch it off like that. So for everything that you do, not only for your wingman, your commander, but the airmen in basic training, everyone out here watching, because, well, look at that. You help someone become an MTI, which is awesome. Everyone is extremely proud of you. You leave a lasting impression. It's just amazing. And so Chief Hannibal happened to be and the mean walk, for sure. The mean walk and the extra sharp uniform, the razor sharp uniform that looks like it's going to cut you. So Chief Hannibal was my superintendent in basic training 17 and a half years ago, which is crazy in itself because little Airman Thomas would have been afraid to sit across from her then. I'm still kind of afraid to sit across from her now. That's probably why the mic broke, y'all. So thank you guys all for checking us out today. But before we go, Chief Hannibal, for everyone out here listening that is enduring something, that doesn't have a wall they may feel like that represents them, or may not see a chief. I didn't see my first female Black chief until I was a tech sergeant, seasoned tech sergeant. For all these people out here who just have this feeling like, I can't go on today, or this military is not for me, or there's no one out here that understands me, looks like me, acts like me, I'm too live out loud, I'm too aggressive, I'm too whatever the case may be, what would be your final advice for them?
For all those folks, I would say to you, family, first of all, you're never alone. What you're able to see right at that moment, I got you. I've been there, the emotional roller coaster. Use your resources. Don't assume because someone is a certain age, rank, or even a race that they can't help you get what you need. Look in the mirror. That's the biggest thing. Because my moral compass was bent in many ways. I was not guilty of the things I was accused of, but this process helped me realize I had some stuff I need to rectify in my life. So before you begin to point outward, absolutely, and on a continual basis, check that mirror. What are you doing or not doing that may be contributing to some things not going in the manner in which you wanted to? And you know, very simply put, if they would do it to Jesus, if they would do it to Jesus, what they did to Jesus, some of you might not subscribe to even the idea of there being a God or Jesus. But if you do, please help me fill in the blank from North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever you're from. Now, you so much better than Jesus that nobody would touch you because of what? Help me with that. So my darkest days, the driver for me that helped me keep going forward, and the military, continued military service may not be for you. Do your best to exit on your terms, though, and in the best way possible. But on my worst days, I thought about those people that looked like me, who were stolen, chained up, the deplorable conditions that they were shipped here on, the shit that they went through when they arrived, the way they were beaten, less than human, not even less than a damn dog, and they endured. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my grandfather, all those people, every day. They didn't have a damn thing to claim as their own. And here I am sitting here with a paycheck, a house, a roof over my head, an apartment, whatever the hell it is, and I'm not even getting my ass whooped every day. Never mind, I know the cops still jacking our ass up. Trust me, that ain't lost on me. I'm not talking about that. In general, if they endured all of that to give your ass an opportunity to get educated, to strive for something better than get up off your ass, talking to me at times, get up, damn it, get up. There are days when I have one boot on kind of day, and it's hard. I don't want to put that boot on. And then some days I got to take a knee. You know, I say do an about face, take a knee, and hydrate. Shit, you got to do that sometimes. But get up. Only let it be a pause. Don't ever stop.
I don't know if y'all have anything in the comments, but I'm essentially speechless. That had been the most inspiring thing I think I've heard all of 2021 and probably 2020 as well. So Chief Master Sergeant, active duty, retired, active duty, Hannibal, it's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you everyone for watching, for staying with us through the sound and audio fiasco. Clearly the video, the lights, everything, whatever went wrong today, there's someone that didn't want this story to be shared, yet here we are. Please take the opportunity to share Camouflage Beauty with a friend. And if you have a story that you would like to share, email us at camelbeautystories@gmail.com. Until next time, y'all, take care. I'm leaving you on for the blooper moments. I'm not turning it off.
I'm not worried about that.
We're not.
Hey, log your ass off. Get off. Go home. Hey, shout out to the 319 for my mug. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
I can't with you.
Hey, y'all get off here. It's Friday. It's happy hour. Go on somewhere. Go on, get it.